microchip. It's June. Ain't no microchip. Ain't no microchips. It's June. Somebody should put a beat to that shit.
Nor come to pass.
We in June. Ain't no microchips. We in June. Ain't no microchips. Chips. 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 We in June. Ain't no microchips. June. 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 Ain't no microchips. We in June. June. It's June. Ain't no microchips. Microchips.
Isn't that powerful?
Ain't no microchip. Ain't no microchips. It's June.
Shalom, call halal, Yahweh Shemiel Shabbat Shemakah Kodash double honors. The elder apostles and elder bishops of great millstone, even the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shalom and salutation to all the brothers that are pushing the word of truth and its sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. I'm the elder Yahshua. Shalom and salutation to you all. It's June. We in June. Okay, and I just want to say, everybody, if you're of a certain age, you understand the spirit of, I want to name this lesson, the spirit of we in June, or it's June. The spirit of it's June. Okay, now there's the video. It's June. But if you remember the time when this was said, I can't remember the year exactly, but if you were around then, okay, some of the first things that we learned coming in around the 08-ish area, okay, was that patience is what this thing is about. And where you might, not understand initially how this thing works, you come to understand time and patience as you come into this thing, right? And here we are, damn near 20 years later, we understand, right, that whatever was said back then, there's a dispensation of time that's involved in this thing, right? And you have to come to understand what's going on as far as time and patience, okay? It's a delicate dance, if you will. Anyway, there are two aspects to the spirit of It's June, okay? And what I want to do, because anybody that was around then should be in the spirit of It's June. Just because you should be, right? The spirit dictated all of this. Why are we here? Why are we here? Why is everybody, okay, let me go here. Why is everybody doing this? Let me point at this. This is my history, okay? It's June. 1, 2, 3. I only pulled up 3. How many of these are there going to be by the end of the day? It's June, it's June, it's June. Okay, how many of these are there going to be? Okay, why? There's a spirit on this whole endeavor. It's dealing with two things. What are the two things? Okay. I would have to say the most important is the false prophet. Okay. Nate is a false prophet. He's the one that said it. So anybody, right, dealing with the microchip, ain't no microchips, right? It's June. What's the next phrase? Ain't no microchips. So they're connected. June and ain't no microchips. So whoever don't believe in the MOTB being the microchip, you're a false prophet, starting with Nate. See, it's June. The spirit of it's June deals with two things: false prophets and the MOTB. It's June today. What are we dealing with? What's going on with Hakah right now? False prophets. So you understand? It's June. What's going to be at the forefront according to the spirit? The MOTB, and anybody that's teaching otherwise is a false prophet. How do we find out who the false prophets are right now? Anybody that said that the MOTB is not the see him. 2 Peter. Get there. Salakia. 2 Peter 3 and 3. And we go over this a lot. What's more important? What's the most important thing? Well, let's let the scriptures tell you. What does it say? Let's go down the list. This isn't me. Okay, people get mad at me for saying this. And not that they do, it's just nobody considers this. Let's start at the King James Bible. Everybody, knowing this first, and they just blow through it. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers. Wait, back up. Knowing this first, what does that mean? Well, let's go down the list. Let's find out how important that phrase is. Most, above all, you must understand. Above all, is there anything above this? No. Above all, stop. It's June. What does that mean? Above all, most importantly, knowing this first of all, it's June. What is this June pointing? Not just the MOTB. Of course, it's June. Ain't no microchip. Most importantly, I want to remind you that MOTB is dealing first with Nate, then with Hakah, then Hassad, then Alazar. And these niggas came all the way up with, they didn't say ain't no microchips, but guess what? Who's at the top of the list? Somebody who did. Am I mistaken, or did Hakah change the MOTB on his way out too? Because he can't endure sound doctrine for sure. But let's see what the scripture says about the order of importance. And I'm not, I'm just saying, why? Let's go back to Judas. Okay? You got to know, in these last days, you must, above all, you must understand, in these last days, what? False teachers. Just stay right there for a minute and marinate. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days booty bandits, their own lust, right? And they're popping off of the page. Own evil desires, right? And we saw them come in as the devil. If you couldn't see these niggas come in as the devil, you were doomed, right? But how important is that? It's the most important. So Nate, right? How important is it? False teachers, right? Walking after his own lust. His own lust is clearly money. And what is he doing? He's taken down Israel like he's been doing from the start. I suspect that he's been an agent the entire time. That's why he's at the top of the food chain. Above all, you must understand, if scoffers, right, is the most important thing, like this is saying, right? Most importantly, scoffers, right? Most importantly, what? Scoffers, okay? Who's the top scoffer and why? What does this word scoffer go back to? False teachers. Who's the top false teacher in Israel? Nate is the top false teacher in Israel. When the world, if you will, looks to the so-called black Hebrew, or whatever you want to call it. We're not the black Hebrew Israelites, but you know what I'm doing by saying that. Okay? When the world looks to, who are the black? They're looking to the purple boys. So what would that make Nate? He's the top scoffer in the last days. Most of all, most importantly, let's consider Nate, who's saying what? And you kind of have to set it up, right? You got to set it up so that it tastes right. Where is it at? Where's this nigga Where'd the elder go? That's it. Ain't no microchips. I must have came back from here. Salakia. Okay. So I wanted to set these up just to show. This is the Elder Hawad out in North Carolina. Shalom. This is the Elder Kazak over in Mississippi, I believe. Shalom to the elder. This is the Elder Amawanga Bar in New York. Shalom to the elder. All right, so, and this is just, it's almost 8 o'clock on the West Coast. But the spirit of it's June, all right? So, is dealing with two things, false prophets. What is most important? Dealing with two things. The Sihip is very important. But what does this say? Above all, and most importantly, I want to remind you that scoffers are mocking the truth. How important is it that Yohana, Nate, Zabak, everybody other than GMS is saying that the MOTB is not the C-hip. That is the spirit of It's June. It's June is pointing out who the scoffers are, and it's pointing out that the MOTB is the chip, and that's how we determine who the scoffers are. Which means this, now that Sakari has been eliminated, GMS is the only camp that believes in the MOTB. So it makes it real easy to find out who the true men of the Lord are. Okay, so now, all I have to do at this point, because, we could go in real quick. Let's get that. Let's break down scoffers. Second Pete. Let's get scoffers real quick. Knowing this first. Scoffers, let's get this. I just want to go through it and be thorough. Lord willing, it's edifying. Scoffers is Epiktes, which goes to this. By implication, a false teacher. Okay? This is what we're looking for. False teacher. So you're a phony. Okay? You're not really about this truth, and really you've been compromised. All these people have been compromised. Yohana and the 501c3, and I'm passing out food. Nate has certainly been compromised. Not teaching the name, going against the name. Okay? Alazar, the Magpie twins. That's easy. It's an easy read. Okay? These false teachers have been paid off. Hirelings. Okay? So we've proven that. False teacher. That's what this is. Okay? Last day scoffers. False teachers. That's Alazar. That's Shaky Nate. You understand? What are they teaching? They're teaching against the truth. What is the truth? Here's the truth. Rev 13. And then I'm going to go ahead and close. But that's the spirit, right? The spirit of ain't no microchips, or we in June. This is Revelation 13:16. Bear with me. It's Revelation 13:16, the mark of the beast. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that's all we need. We can argue this. What is this mark? The charagma. It's a RFID microchip. Now let's go back to the top. Where did we start? Let's let this guy sing one more time. Shout out to the the elder I'm on.
Ain't no microchip. It's June. Ain't no microchip. Ain't no microchips. It's June. Somebody should put a beat to that shit.
I did.
Nor come to pass.
We in June. Ain't no microchips. We in June. Ain't no microchips. Chips. 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 We in June. Ain't no microchips. June. 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 Ain't no microchips. We in June. June. It's June. Ain't no microchips. Microchips.
Isn't that powerful?
Ain't no microchip. Ain't no microchips. It's June.
That one? What do I do with it? Slovakia.
And we'll be faced with equally consequential decisions in the 21st century. Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that. Mark my words, before inclined toward criminality or violent behavior. You will rule on that.
Okay.
You will rule on that. Mark my word.
Marky Mark.
You will rule on that. Mark my word. You will rule on that. Mark my word. You will rule on that. Mark my word.
Deuteronomy chapter
Rule
18,
on that.
verse
Mark. Rule on
The
that. Mark.
prophet speak
Rule on that.
the name
Mark.
of the Lord.
Mark. You will rule on that. Mark my word. You will rule on that. Mark my word. Rule on that. Mark. Rule on that. Mark. Rule on that. Mark. Mark. You will rule on that. Mark my word.
Yeah. Don't know how old that is, but anyway, that's all we need. Continue to expose these devils. All right. So with that, we pray that the elect ratified. Your brother and peace, sister Shalom.